my dear students of class 10, I am here to continue with Act 4, Scene 1 of Merchant of Venice. In the last class, we had discussed how Shylock gives various reasons as to why he wants to extract a pound of flesh from Antonio's body. He gives an explanation. It's because of a deep-rooted hatred that he has for Antonio that he wants to extract a pound of flesh from his body. So that is one reason. And then he says, I don't think I need to answer to anybody why I want to extract a pound of flesh from Antonio's body. He even says, I don't think I need to please anybody with my answers. I don't think I'm here to do that. I wish to take his flesh because I want to. I wish to do that. And because I hate Antonio so much. So these are the reasons he gives in order to extract a pound of flesh from Antonio's body. So today we will see what are the other arguments that he has in favor of the views that he possesses. That means why he wants to extract a pound of flesh from Antonio's body. So after listening to the points of Shylock, let's see what Bassanio has to tell Shylock. Let's see what he says. This is no answer, thou unfeeling man, to excuse the current of thy cruelty. So, this is not an answer. You cannot be excused of your cruel behavior just because you have given this answer. This answer is not satisfactory enough to give a reason as to why you want to extract a pound of flesh from Antonio's body. This will not reduce your cruelty. You will still remain a cruel person. So, Shylock tells him, I am not bound to please thee with my answer. I don't think I need to give you answers which you want to hear, which you like. I don't think I need to give you those answers which your ears want to hear. I don't think I need to do that. And Bassanio tells him now, do all men kill the things they do not love? So do all men kill what they don't like? Do all men do that? Hates any man the thing he would not kill? Then Shylock tells him, is there nobody in this world who would not kill something or somebody that he does not like? Is there nobody in this world? What wouldst thou? Every offense is not a hate at first. So every fault is not hated from the beginning. Shylock, why don't you understand that? Then Shylock tells him, what? Wouldst thou have a serpent sting thee twice? Do you want a snake to sting you twice? To bite you twice? Already once it has bitten you means you would be more careful the next time. I don't think you would let the same serpent sting you twice. You have to be more careful the next time. So I am doing exactly the same. I don't want Antonio to behave with me in the same way that he has behaved earlier. So that's why I want to finish this story once and for all. I don't want any kind of hassles now in the future. That's why I'm doing this. Now, Antonio is listening patiently to the dispute that is going on between Shylock and Bassanio. He's listening to everything. So it's not a conversation. It's a dispute between the two of them. It's a quarrel between, a war of words between Shylock and Bassanio. And Antonio is patiently listening to all this. So what Antonio had to say, let's see now. I pray you, think you question with the Jew. So he says, please, Bassanio, do not question this man. It's useless questioning this person and telling him anything. He will not listen to anything. So it's useless telling this person anything right now. So please do not tell him. It does not work on him. And then he says, you may as well go stand upon the beach and bid the main flood bathe his usual height. You may go and stand upon the beach and ask the tide not to rise above a certain level, a certain height. You may do that. You may as well use question with the wolf why he had made the ewe bleed for the lamb. You might as well ask the wolf, why did he make the mother sheep cry for the lamb he had eaten? You may go and ask that wolf, why did you make the mother sheep cry? You may do that. And then he says, you may as well forbid the mountain pines to wag their high tops and to make no noise when they are threatened with the gusts of heaven. You may forbid the pine trees from swaying, from moving from this side to that side, and to make no noise when disturbed by the winds of heaven. Not to make any noise. You may do that. You may ask the pine trees not to make a noise. You may do that. You may ask the wolf a question. You may go and stand upon the beach and ask the tides not to rise above a certain level. You may do all those things. But you will not be able to melt the heart of this Jew, this cruel Jew, this Shylock. So what he says is, you may as well do anything most hard as seek to soften that than which works harder. Then he says, you might do all the impossible things in the world, then soften the heart of this Jew. You can do all the impossible things in this world. You may go to any length in order to do all the other impossible things rather than softening the heart of this Jew. It's so hard to melt his heart. It's so hard to soften this Jew. You may do all the other impossible things, no matter what, but you will not be able to soften the heart of this Jew. He is so much stone-hearted. You will not be able to soften him. So Antonio tells, or rather requests Bassanio not to say anything to Shylock, because he knows very well what kind of a person is Shylock. He knows everything from top to bottom. In and out he knows. That's why he requests Bassanio not to plead with Shylock, not to request him for anything, because any impossible thing may be done, but to melt the heart of the Jew, that's something next to impossible. Then he says, his Jewish heart, therefore, I do beseech you, make no more offers, use no further means, but with all brief and plain conveniency, let me have judgment and the Jew his will. Therefore, please, I'm begging you, please don't make any offers to him. Don't request anything to him. Don't look for any other ways to stop him. Don't do that. Because I know nothing can be done and nothing works on him. So please stop doing this. Don't make any offers to him. Don't request him for anything. And what he wants is, just let me get my punishment. Let me get my punishment, please. Don't ask him anything. And the Jew his penalty. Let the Jew get his penalty. He wants his penalty, let him get it. Don't ask for anything. Please don't beg of him. Do not request him for anything. He will not listen to you. So Bassanio, I request you, my dear friend, not to make any offers to him. Please do not do that. He will not listen to you. He will not listen to you at all. So that's why stop asking him, stop requesting him. Please don't do that. So Antonio requests Bassanio not to request Shylock for anything, because things will not turn out the way they want it to be. Shylock will not leave them, and Shylock will not leave the bond and the pound of flesh or anything. Because Shylock is just seeking for a chance to take revenge on Antonio. So he will not leave that golden opportunity. He will not leave that chance. So that's why it was useless requesting anything to Shylock. So that's why Antonio tells Bassanio not to request him. And now let's see what Bassanio had to say. For thy 3,000 ducats, here is 6. So he tells him, we had borrowed 3,000 ducats from you. You take here. I'm giving you 6,000 ducats, but you leave Antonio. If every ducat is 6,000 ducats were in 6 parts, and every part a ducat, I would not draw them. I would have my bond. So if each of the 6,000 ducats were divided into 6 parts, and each of the 6 parts was a ducat, I would still reject them. I will not have them. I would have my bond instead. So every 6,000 ducats, if those ducats were divided into 6 parts, and even among those 6 parts, every ducat was there, then also I would not have it. I would still have my bond. I would not have those ducats. Even if you give me 100,000 ducats, 10,000 ducats, I would still not have those ducats. I will still have my bond. So Shylock does not seem to be interested in any of the offers given by Bassanio. He's not interested. He directly says, I'll have my bond. So you can see how much he's interested in taking that pound of flesh from Antonio's body. And the reason you know very well, why he wants to extract a pound of flesh from Antonio's body. So he would not accept anything that is given to him. Nothing. He would not accept anything. So he's already rejected the offer made by Bassanio. He would not take that. And then Duke says, how shall thou hope for mercy, rendering none? So then the Duke is watching all the discussions and the quarrels, the disputes going on. And finally he says, how can you expect for mercy when you don't give mercy to anybody? So you can't expect for mercy if you are not merciful towards the others. You also have to be merciful. Only then can you expect mercy from the others. If you don't show mercy to others, then even you cannot expect mercy from anybody. So how can you hope for mercy when you yourself don't show any mercy? Then what Shylock says, what judgment shall I dread doing no wrong? I have not done anything wrong. So why should I have any kind of fear? I have not done anything wrong to anybody. It's my right. That's why I'm asking. I have not done anything wrong to anybody. So why should I have fear? Why should I fear? And what fear should I have? I have not done anything wrong to anybody. You have among you many a virtuous slave, which like your asses and your dogs and mules, you use in abject and in slavish part because you bought them. Among you, you have many slaves, which you have bought. And like your asses, your dogs and your mules, you just employ them in all the humiliating on all the slavish jobs. Why? Because you bought them. Because you bought those slaves, you use them in any work that you want. Just like your asses, your mules and your dogs. You use those slaves in many abject things. the slavish things, the humiliating things. You use them. Why? Because you bought them. Because you bought them. You are doing that. He further says, shall I say to you, let them be free, marry them to your heirs. Why sweat they under burdens? If I say to you all, let them be free and marry them to your own children. Why do they need to sweat under your burden? Let them be free. Let those slaves be free. Let them marry your sons and your daughters. Why they need to be under your burden? If I say that to you, you will answer, the slaves are ours. So do I answer you, the pound of flesh which I demand of him is dearly bought. It's mine and I will have it. So then if I say that to you, you would say, the slaves are ours. We can do anything with them. We can use them in any work that we want because we have bought them. So I would also like to tell you, this bond is mine. This bond is mine. And Antonio has been bought by me. And that also at a very high price. Dearly bought at a very high price. I have bought Antonio. So I can do whatever I wish to do with Antonio. And my bond, which I have bought, paying a very expensive price. So if I tell you not to use their slaves in some abject thing, you would obviously tell me, we will use them because we bought them. So my answer is also the same. I will do whatever I want because Antonio has been bought by me. And that also paying a very heavy price. So I don't think I have done anything wrong. So I don't need to give any kind of explanation to anybody. The pound of flesh which I demand of him is dearly bought. It's mine and I will have it. If you deny me, fire upon your law. So if you do not give me that, shame upon your law. Shame on your law. There is no force in the decrees of Venice. I stand for judgment. Answer, shall I have it? So there is no force in Venice to deny this justice to me. Because the laws of Venice also says to give justice to everybody. So you can't deny this to me. I ask for judgment from the court. Shall I have it or not? Give me an answer, Duke. Shall I have it or not? There is no law in Venice which will deny the right that I have. The judgment that I have. I have the right to get justice. So shall I have it or not? Please answer me, Duke. So Shylock, he gives all these reasons. And to prove his point, he has very good arguments in stock. And nobody can stop him from saying those. So the Duke says, upon my power I may dismiss this court, unless Bellario, a learned doctor whom I have sent for to determine this, come here today. So on my authority, I have the right to dismiss the court, unless Bellario is a learned doctor of law, whom I have sent for to settle the question, arrives here today. So unless Bellario comes here today, I have the power, the authority to dismiss this court. So if I want, I may dismiss this court. Unless Bellario, a doctor of law, comes here to fight the case. So I've sent for him. So let's see whether he comes here or not. And if he comes, then I shall not dismiss the court. Or else I have the power and the authority to dismiss the case. So if I want, I may just dismiss the court right now. here itself unless Bellario comes here today. And I've sent for him. He may come. And if he comes, the court proceedings will be carried forward. And if he does not come, then I may adjourn the court here. Immediately, today and here itself, I may adjourn the court. So the Duke also seems to be in favor of Antonio, because he knows Antonio is a very good man. And Shylock will go to any extent of cruelty to take a pound of flesh from Antonio's body. So the Duke seems to be in favor of Antonio, and he wants to save Antonio, because he has already tried everything possible in order to save Antonio. But he's not been able to do it because of the law and the authority and the judgment and justice and laws of Venice and everything. He's not been able to save Antonio. But from what he says, we can gather that the Duke is also interested in saving Antonio. Okay, class 10 children, I hope this explanation is clear to you. So let's recap the class once more. So in this class today, we discussed about how Bassanio pleads with Shylock and requests him not to take a strict action against Antonio, but Shylock does not seem to be interested in doing that. So he has his own arguments to put forward, and he wants to prove his point as to why he wants to extract a pound of flesh from Antonio's body. And Antonio requests Bassanio not to plead with Shylock and let him have the bond. And he just wants to surrender himself to Shylock and to the court, and he wants everything to be done in a hurry. Hurry in the sense like he wants everything to be just done. He doesn't want to wait any longer, because he knows it's useless speaking to a person like Shylock. So he says everything impossible can be done in this world, but Shylock's heart cannot be melted. He knows very well. So that's why he tells Bassanio not to request Shylock for anything. And then Shylock has his own points to put forward and his own reasons he puts forward. And the Duke tells him, I have a right to adjourn the court unless Bellario, a learned doctor, comes in order to fight the case. So we'll wind up the class here for today. And before leaving, I just have 3 questions for you, just to explain the lines. So the question is, what do you mean by the following? The first one, there is no answer, thou unfeeling man, to excuse the current of the cruelty. So explain these lines. Second one, every offense is not a hate at first. And the third one, I pray you, think you, question with the Jew. So these are the 3 phrases you need to explain. Write them in your notebooks. Write down what do you mean by these 3 sentences. So please explain and write down the answer in your notebook, and don't forget to post your answers too. So let's wind up the class for today, and I shall continue with this particular scene tomorrow. Until then, you please complete your assignment and do your homework, and please post your answers. Okay, class 10. Thank you.